Hello and welcome to Modern Toy Fair. Today we're going to discuss how to collect on a budget. I am your host, Mr. Modern Toy Fair, and I am joined by the founder of the NECA Illuminati, the delayer of shipments, the procrastinator of pre-orders, my YouTube wife, Mrs. Modern Toy Fair, Jarmar_Games. That's not all. I am also joined by the man Modern Toy Fair has full custody over. The man out to his prime popped and he refuses to stop. The Twilight Knight, the master of mech, the three-pump chump of taking this show off the rails, Nate.
Stop.
Are you mocking the way I move my head when I do the announcements?
No, I was like going with it. Like there was so much
I
going
was
on. Like
feeling it,
okay. It doesn't track for you guys. Usually you're making fun of me, so we'll see.
whatever.
Well, I mean, can't we just be doing both? You know.
Believe it or not, Michael, I wasn't thinking about you while you were talking about me.
Lovely.
Didn't even know you were there.
Yeah, I was just listening to you talk about me.
Alrighty
while
then.
I looked at me.
We're doing great. How about you? How about yourself?
I'm glad you're
Yeah,
doing so well.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been better.
Yeah. I've been through it today, and you guys are definitely helping.
If you can't kick a friend while he's down, why even have friends? You know?
I can't argue that. Yeah, I
what I
can't
always
wait
say.
until it's my turn. But anyway, we're not here about us. We are here to discuss the fact that shit's getting expensive, and like you gotta learn to collect on a budget because, like, especially like Nate, you used to buy everything when it came to like Marvel Legends and stuff, and there's no way you could do that in today's economy, especially with the way Hasbro
Not
runs
in this-
things.
Not
in this economy.
No.
So we're
Thanks,
gonna-
everybody.
That's it.
That's the end of the show.
The answer is just don't collect. No.
Yes.
But yes, so I want to start with the person out of the three of us who I feel is probably the best at this and is the most frugal and responsible with this. So Jarmar, why don't you discuss a little bit how you...
Wait, what? Seriously?
I'm sorry. Have you watched the weekly live stream where Nate shows up with 6 boxes?
That is fair.
Like,
My
I'm
only
always
reason
swinging out
for
of my
being
weight class,
shocked-
and he's always got like 300 things. Like, you're clearly the most responsible one.
My only thing for that is everything I buy is always full price because I never find anything clearance. So although I don't purchase a lot of things, I normally never get them for a discount. So like the reason I'm shocked is my collecting habits are I buy it and I keep it forever. So
Which is even more impressive.
I don't really trade out too many things. So I'm more so looking for you guys' guidance on how to do recycle
well, you have to.
But
I
what
guess
I
the
would
biggest
say-
thing was more so like, obviously you have, a family, a wife, and a young child, and
That's true.
you
that's
don't
true.
have. You're not a single guy who can just spend all of your paychecks on toys. So like, how
That's
do you? What do you do to?
Okay.
to
You
do
want a
that?
real answer?
Yeah,
I'll
like
give you a real
how
answer,
do
and
you
I'll
how do you
give you a
decide
fake
like
answer
what to get,
first.
what not to get? Because obviously you don't recycle your stuff out to get funds.
First off, what I've found is kids will eat the same thing over and over and over again. So you don't have to buy different food. Just buy a bunch of vegetables. Let them eat that while they're young. Yeah, because right now he's eating vegetables. So
That's so weird.
that's really great filler for him. Don't change the diaper more than once a day. That helps. I'm joking. These are jokes. He does like vegetables. But anyways, I think honestly it's sort of a little cheat code for me in a sense of collecting turtles. So like in a sense, I think it's a cheat code. But I'm able to stick to getting a specific property, but I'll also get like that excitement of getting new things. So like instead of being on one property or one line, and then it's like, all right, well, I don't really want these characters anymore. So then it kind of just dries up. I know we'll probably do an episode about this in the future of like, do we have too many people making turtle toys? But for
It's
me,
almost as if you read that document I put out.
I didn't. I just know we talked about it at one point. But to me, that's actually like a great thing because I don't have to like fully invest completely into the lines,
Mm-hmm.
and it also allows me to be like as frugal or tight as possible by just getting the turtles and not expanding on those lines. Now, have I done that with everything? No, but that I have that built-in excuse of like, okay, if it's outside the turtles, do I really need it? And that helps me, reduce the cost there. As of late, it's kind of become a little bit trickier, for sure, because there's a lot of iterations of turtles. Whereas I feel like we weren't getting turtle, 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 turtle. So that has made things a little bit more complicated. But honestly, it helps to have someone like for me, my wife's super chill about it. So at least she tells me she is.
She pretends.
So,
She's just waiting for the
if I don't make it,
life
listen.
insurance
If I
to get
don't,
high enough.
if I don't make it on the podcast in the future, and I never mention anything, just check out the basement. But that helps out. But I do try to like also one tip I think Nate you have mentioned before is the PayPal thing. Break it up into 4 installments. So that would be my first tip, depending on where you're purchasing things. Break it up into those smaller chunks and installments. Even if it's something like $60, it feels lighter that it's like $7 or $12 or whatever 4 times.
Be about
I'm not doing
$15.
Yeah, $15. But I also like to justify it as like, cool. I'm gonna try and cut corners other ways and like save some money this way, and then I spend that $15 in the month. So not getting my Dollar Tree run of buying 5 things that I didn't need or shit like that. So that's like a real honest answer that's helped me. And that's actually the only tip that I feel like I actually said out of all of that.
I mean, I'm here for it. PayPal Pay in 4 has helped me a lot with MoffX because while like the import sites give you like a week and a half to pay, so that way no matter what you can hit it on a payday. Obviously, with the channel, I need to get things sooner rather than later, or the videos won't perform as well. So, like, if it comes on an odd week, it's nice because then it's like, okay, I'm only paying $20 with a week left before payday instead of paying $80 a week before payday, kind of thing. So it kind of helps with that too. Until you get like 4 of them in a row, and then it's like every paycheck I'm paying $80. What's going on here?
You're like, this isn't.
You definitely do have to space them out.
Yeah.
You don't want to be doing the 4 easy pays for the whole year. Every day or every week. That's for sure.
All right.
Yeah, if you're taking notes, write down the 4 easy pays, PayPal. Also, like some credit cards offer like the what do they call that thing? Like not the 24-month finance, something like that. Interest-free financing. That's the word.
Or flex payments or something like that. Yeah.
But most people would probably have PayPal for a long time, and that's like a good one there.
Yeah. So not to be mean and put Nate last, but I think we should probably go, small, medium, large in size of like collecting, because obviously Nate has the biggest collection out of all of us.
True. That's
Jarmar
true.
may only beat me because he has 3,000 of the original turtle figures, but he's been collecting those for 30 years.
But yes and no, but you'll be surprised. Like a lot of boxed NECA stuff. Think of all the NECA Turtles that have come out that I've kept.
If we eliminate your original Playmates turtle line, I probably have more than you.
I think
because remember, everything I cycle out, usually I bought 2 other things in its place. So
you're
I want to have this
like
competition.
Exactly.
But think of every NECA figure that has come out outside of some of like the major big packages, like in most of those. I still have those.
Okay.
So if we're saying like we'll say easily like 150 each for those. Are we going monetary?
No, I'm talking about just
like oversized
per figure.
But even still, I mean, you do have a lot of MoffX, but I don't know how many you have.
I mean, like if we're going monetary, then I definitely, because I collect.
Are we measuring?
We are having a dick
right
measuring contest for no reason. That's the worst
Go
part.
ahead. Yeah, go
I was
ahead.
just saying. I was just saying that like I feel like if we eliminate your original turtle line, I probably have more individual figures than you. It's like probably not like a real like far amount, but like because I have.
I feel like you're calling me a bitch.
No, I'm just simply saying
I'm
that you
joking, I'm
you're more
joking, I'm
responsible.
joking.
I very much am impulsy, and I will buy shit that
Yeah.
I don't need, which then gets cycled out for more stuff that I do need
Yeah.
or more stuff I don't need. And not to mention, all of the little things that I buy, like stupid shit like this. Like, I probably have fucking
Yes.
100 of just these kind of things. So
Plus all those accessories you have too.
So like,
That would probably add up to.
but yeah, so back to what I was saying, going from like a small, medium, large thing, because Nate has obviously the largest collection out of the three of us. That
In Ohio,
he would have to like stop collecting, and then we would have to take probably a century to catch up to him at this point.
I mean, I do have a good at least 10 years on both of you, and I have been collecting since I was like 3, and I still have a lot of that shit. So that's that. I should go to a toy therapy follow-up session to really get into it more.
I mean, we need to do another one just because
Yes.
you've changed completely since
Yes.
the last one.
Right.
But anyway, so the big thing that I have to do, because even though, yes, I am, a single guy who doesn't have a whole lot of expenses, right now trying to focus on this channel, I do have a day job, but I don't work there as much. I work there enough to kind of keep things going and also try to, put the money back into the channel, whether it's through getting figures for the reviews or, getting things that break down randomly on a Wednesday.
I was like, what figure broke down?
But yeah, so, funds are a little tighter, so I have to constantly plan ahead. I can't be as frivolous or as spontaneous as I was before. So usually if I do buy a retail level figure, it's either something that is going to be for the channel specifically, like someone requested it, because I do requests for the Let's Pose videos. Or it's going to be something where I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I already know that it's not going to stay around forever. It's going to be something that I want to take pictures of, or just something that I think is interesting and fun, but eventually I know it's going to go away. And so that's why a big part of my collection is also like cycling things out. Like there's some things that will have a mainstay. They will be there until I am completely tired of it. Whether it be like for instance, the retro figures. Those, unless I get into a real tight pinch or I just decide I don't want the line at all anymore, they're not going anywhere. The Sentinel, other side. Sentinel. That's another one. It's not going anywhere. So that kind of stuff sticks around, but then there's, smaller stuff, not necessarily in price, but in like just lines where I'll like get one or two of just because I think it's cool, but it's something just to kind of have until I don't need it or I need something else more. And I also have stuff in the closet still. I have stuff in a little bin that I use as like extra characters for pictures and stuff like that. And those will get cycled out too as new things come out. It's a good way to make it so your collection is kind of sustaining itself, because luckily I like the win/loss like aspect of it is pretty evened out between like some of the things I buy that and then sell later on go up in value to offset some of the like retail things I buy that go down in value. And I try to keep a mental like rough tally of it, so that way there's never a point where I'm like, okay, I'm in the red no matter what I do. This is bad. Because I feel like that point is when I probably need more than a toy therapy. But another big thing is just looking for other opportunities to get things, because a lot of the normal retail outlets are expensive. I mean, hell, Hasbro's raises their prices to the point where even like a lot of local places are more expensive than they would be at Target or Walmart, but Target and Walmart rarely get stuff. And it's kind of come to a point now where unless it's something that I'm getting for a review, if it's something I just kind of like maybe want, I'm starting to wait until Entertainment Earth or Big Bad or Amazon have it to where it's on sale, and then I'll get it. Or some stuff I'll wait, and birthday comes around, all your family gives you Amazon gift cards, and that's what I'll use to get some things where it's like, okay, it's cool, but it's not a must. It's something that I just kind of sort of want. But another big thing is, like, I learned about the import sites for the OnlyFigs figures. It's so much cheaper buying it from there than it is from the States. For like, Big Bad Toy Store charges $100 usually for the figure, and even if you do the $4 shipping, that's still $104. On average, for one figure, I'm paying about, after shipping, $85-$90. So I'm saving money there. And you just kind of have to explore online, whether it's in Facebook groups or content creators talking about it. Because that was how I discovered Ami Ami, was through like people like Robo from the Fwoosh and Dave Wonder and Cincy Nerd and people like that. They talk about it, and I looked into it. I'm like, oh wow, it's confusing because it's all like the prices are in Japanese, so you have to like figure out the conversion. But it is cheaper. It's just kind of scary because it's not something you're used to, and it just seems so much different. But also, it's also scary waiting for sales, because when you're waiting for sales on Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store, well, what happens if it sells out and then you don't get it all? Mm-hmm. But I am trying to buy less things day one, unless it's something that I for sure need or something that's for the channel. Because if it's not, then it's like, okay, I'll hold off. Another thing is, a lot of companies are reissuing figures now. So if I know there's going to be a reissue of it, I'll sell the one I have for whatever it's going for, which is usually more than what it would cost me for the reissue. And then I've paid for the reissue and still had some money left over. So just kind of things like that to keep an eye on. A big thing that I do is I follow Peternia on Twitter, because he always is posting when things go on sale and have like good deals. And that's definitely helped me a handful of times. So it really is just kind of figuring out where you can save whenever you can, and also deciding if you want to stick very strictly to certain things like Jarmar, or if you want a huge variety but kind of cycle things out as you go and have like a set thing of like, these are staying but everything else is kind of flowing in and out.
I would recommend you put Peternia, so I don't have to look it up.
Yeah, I'll
just put it in a link.
I'll put in a link in the description. Not that you watch the video anyway, because
yeah, that's true. Maybe you should just text it to me.
But no, I will link Peternia in the description below.
Yeah, that's a good call out though.
Yeah, because he's fantastic. He's saved me money a lot of times, and I've only been following him for probably maybe 6 to 8 months. So he's definitely been a lot of help, and he also helps with like links for pre-orders when stuff goes up. So if there is stuff that you're like excited about and waiting for, he like a lot of the import figures, like what we tried for the Figure Arts Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen. We failed, but we at least were prepared.
We tried.
Yeah, we got the opportunity as everyone else did. We just we're not good enough. I'm curious what Nate's is going to be, because with the level your collection is, I feel like it's going to be. Yeah.
Well, I'll let you talk first, and then I'll ask.
All right. So I have a number of different ways, because obviously, if you watch OnlyFigs normally every Wednesday at 10,
typically,
you would see that I do get a lot of stuff. And I am definitely different than both of you, because I do, where Jarmar is way more focused than I am. And I wish I did have that focus. Sometimes it is, every wall down here is a different thing. Mm-hmm. And there's different sides to this area. So there's a lot of walls. So for me, it really is a lot of stuff. Like I said, I was older. I also grew up during what some would say would be the greatest media property time of all time, which is the 80s and 90s. So there's a lot of nostalgia in there. So there's a lot of things that I do. During the pandemic, things were different. Things were less, I guess. I don't want to get too much into it. Yeah, and then we just, things were just more. just financially feasible at that time. It was just better, and in some sense. So I bought a lot of stuff. I bought way too much stuff at one point, and then it was like, whoa, what am I doing? I need to rethink my process. And I had some things happen to me that I was like, oh, I got to rethink how I collect, because I'm still going to continue to collect. I can never die. This passion within me, like I said, no lie, it's been with me since I was 3 years old. So I've been doing this a long time. I can't give these up. So I really had to rethink how I did that. And one of the first things I did, and we talked a little bit about this with Marvel Legends. I was buying almost every Marvel Legend that was released. I loved the figures. I loved the things that got me more interested in Marvel Comics. It did all these things, but at the end of the day, I was like, oh my God, there's a wave every month, and then there's store exclusives, and then there is retro packages and this and that. And it was just like, it just became so overwhelming. And I was lucky because I never bought it with that intention, but I was lucky I was able to then parlay that, because the value at that time was pretty insane on a lot of loose figures. And I was able to take that and kind of start with a little bit of a little goose egg to kind of begin my new collecting sensibilities. So then one of the things I changed was specifically looking for clearance on certain items. And I know that sounds kind of crappy for some things, because I sort of like get agitated by it, by the TVC collectors, the vintage collector figures, who are always, wait for clearance and that sort of thing. But I also get it. When you're buying multiple lines and things like that, you either cannot do it at all, you can choose a line to truly support, but then there's going to be that clearance line. And I think patience is a huge thing that I used to have an issue with. We all sort of have an issue to begin with, whether it's FOMO, whether it's the you don't think you're going to be able to get it. I don't know how many times I've been like, oh my God, I may not be able to get this. I cannot tell you any item that I wasn't able to get at some point, and it wasn't always for an outrageous price. Sometimes it was. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's a gamble that you take. But I say, you got to pick a line, and you got to clearance shop it a little bit more. And also, by not buying immediately, not day one pre-ordering, not making sure that you have the entire wave the weekend that it hits your coast, that patience can pay off. Things like the Target, spend $50 get $10 off, spend $100 get $25 off. Those deals, you should be saving items, retail items, maybe even some larger items for those kind of things. They run that, several times a year, mostly at Christmas time or gift giving times, maybe Easter, spring, that sort of thing. But look for those deals as well. And also save back those items, especially the expensive ones, because then that's the more that you can save, and then you can kind of, displace that cost. We joke a lot about what is real money, what is not real money. And I don't want to get into that argument, but also, finding a really good place where you're comfortable taking your things, and maybe doing a little bit of flipping out of it, as far as taking it to a shop or a store that specializes in that kind of thing. And yeah, you're not going to get the money that you put into it, most likely, but you can get more than you're getting out of it now. And it is less guilty to buy something like that when you have that kind of, that kind of income. And I also recommend some sort of side hustle. Whatever that is to you, whether it's YouTube or whether it's, I'm not saying scalping, because that's not what I'm getting into at all.
For the record, really we at Modern Toy Fair do not condone
right.
any illegal activities,
but whether it is selling off, your existing collection, or HJs in the park, whatever you want to do that you're comfortable with. Get a little bit of that, because that is, again, less guilty income. And I'll tell you, the best thing, it's helpful for me, is that my wife also collects. So when she goes to Target, and I'm not there, because I go to Target 15 times a week, but she'll be looking out for deals, and she may come across something that just recently got marked down that you didn't get a chance to see, or something like that. So that's super helpful too. And then I would also say, look in your area for local groups and clubs. We have one in our area, and it's fantastic. And I have gotten so many amazing deals and also found better buyers for my stuff. You know, these are like-minded individuals who are looking for things that you don't have to worry about shipping it. You don't have to worry about, you know, all that kind of stuff, eBay fees and stuff like that. So really look into that sort of thing too. And you can get some amazing deals while, you know, helping another fellow collector out too. So that's some of my biggest ones is clearance waiting, and also Amazon. You know, put those things that you want in your, you know, your watch list or your gift list or whatever it's called, and watch the prices on those, because a lot of times figures will drop, you know, randomly. You know, over the weekend it's 75% off. Why?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but jump on it. Whatever at that point is your comfort price, you know, jump on it. Sometimes it's going to go lower, you know, whatever you got to do. I've definitely ordered things from Target 6 times and returned them 5 because I kept getting a better price. It's not my fault. They won't price match just the original one,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but look for that kind of stuff too. Cause I mean, yeah, it takes an extra trip. You know, I'm just fortunate, I guess, in my job, I can be out and stop into a Target and be like, hey, I got to return this again. So, you know, your mileage may vary on that. Back when you lived in Arizona, you're definitely not going to, you know, drive back to Target, you know, for a $5, you know, price variance. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But those are all really great ways of, you know, being able to scale back. And then if you have to go to eBay, you know, buy loose. If you're going to open it and if it's in good condition already, you know, save some money that way.
That's a really good point.
That's true. And especially with figures nowadays, like buying loose is almost safer because that way, like the person already knows if anything's wrong with it versus you buy new and you open it and something's wrong with it. Yep. You're screwed because they're not a retailer. They're just 9 times out of 10 some guy just like you.
Right. Yeah. I'd much rather at this point buy an open figure that I was going to open rather than get it sealed in a plastic-free box.
Mm-hmm. Fair. What do you mean sealed? No, I'm joking. Do you find that there's better times of the week or certain times when clearance, when you, or do you just happen to luck up on it, or do you see like something specifically and you just keep checking back?
I probably should look for the pattern. I know there used to be a set day, like Monday was electronics that got marked down at Target. You know, Tuesday was housewares. I don't know if that's still the thing. I haven't seen anything for that. I don't know anybody that works at Target anymore. But I know that used to be the thing. But generally, I just go a lot. Repetition. Because I do. I mean, we do have a crazy number of Targets within like an hour radius.
Probably like 15.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe
very easily.
Maybe more than that.
Yeah. I mean, I can hit 5. I know I'm not going to say like a half hour, but I can hit 5 targets relatively quickly if I have that time.
Yeah.
Close to.
And if I know something is being marked down though, or if a wave is being marked down, you know, I'll hit a couple on the way. Yeah. Some can say that I'm spending that when I'm making up in gas. I don't know.
Yeah, but you also get the enjoyment. We've talked about it before of like the thrill of the hunt, which is a part of the collecting experience. So
yeah,
what you're spending in gas is what you're getting more out of the hobby.
That's your entertainment.
So, yeah.
Which ironically, 2 summers ago we were the very, very different story when it came to the hunt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, things have changed because and I think it's funny now because, you know, collectors online, you know, imagine that they get angry or whatever.
What?
Yeah.
Everyone's very friendly. Like, I know what you're talking about.
They're mad that like exclusives, you can just walk into a Target and find all the exclusives now. It's like, what?
Which is ironically what we were bitching about 2 years ago.
Right.
Like, why is it so fucking hard to get exclusives?
I haven't had a difficult time getting an exclusive in a store, with the exception of Walmart, because their stuff is real shaky still. But that's just Walmart, I think. I don't think that has anything to do with like Hasbro or Mattel.
Yeah.
Whereas other exclusives,
I feel like your experiences are a little bit different because it's not Turtles. Like, because we're saying this, I still can't find stuff that I'm looking for.
I mean, what do you leave? Because I see a lot of the Turtle stuff all the time. I just assume you're not interested because it's like the odd characters at this point.
Well, no, not necessarily NECA. But yeah, it's been real out here in those streets, as the kids will say, looking for like the giant turtles or like the pizza shooter turtles. I could find the storage shells, but I don't want those.
And
Or
then
the pizza shooter. You said what?
I'll talk to you afterwards. I saw a whole bunch of them today, but I thought you were all good on them.
Oh no, well, so I have only been talking about that like with Wes, but the one that you mentioned, there was a friend that was at that one, coworker. Maybe he didn't look hard enough, so I trusted his.
Yeah, and I was there. Well, we'll talk about it later. Nobody needs to hear this a week
but
later.
No, yeah, I think it helps too, though. Like certain lines, like I hear like the exclusivity thing, but I don't know if that's necessarily like I can just walk in and pick it up. Certain stuff have become peg warmers, and I think that's just the hobby in general. That not everything is less elusive than it used to be. I guess is what I'll say. But yeah. That's all I was just pointing out. I'm just always curious, but it has to be just like timing and repetition.
It is.
It
is, and knowing where to look too. I mean, generally you want to look at back end caps at Target. You want to look for like a specific aisle if they've got it too. Walmart, you can get some good clearance deals every now and then,
like once in a blue moon,
but it's they're not consistent. So
because Walmart,
but also like
Walmart's less all over the place. Walmart is more so like store by store. Like Target kind of is too, but Walmart's very bad about it, where it's up to the store manager. So if the store manager doesn't give a fuck, they'll leave it on the shelf for like 6 months, while some other Target 2 states away has got it for $3. Like they don't care.
Yeah, that's fair. So
I was also going to mention.
We did it again.
I was going to mention GameStop.
Yes.
Yeah, because
they
not
do
only
run that
do they
toy like promo or collectibles.
Yeah, they run their 25% off all the time, and sometimes they'll do that bag where if you buy it, it's like an extra 30% or whatever.
Or you can stack that with the clearance price already for the figures. And honestly, like it just depends. Like if you're a huge McFarlane fan, you could really clean up. I feel like at GameStop because there's always like it's already clearance out, but we're also doing an extra 25% off every single time I walk in there. There's always at least a few McFarlane stuff. So that's a good one to point out.
He's the best selling toy line out there, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, because everyone can get it. People buy it up. Whoa, he didn't say selling to customers. He meant selling to stores.
He ships the most figures. That's what he meant. That's what the award was.
Yeah.
I can see that.
All right, so we've got be smart with it and strategic, and if you do multiple lines, like kind of pick and choose your battles. We've got sell your shit because you're poor, and we've got clearance sales,
local groups.
So
resale shops.
Man, were you paying attention, Michael?
Well, he said a lot of things. I was trying to give the Cliff Note version.
I did say a lot.
Like I talked a long time, but he said more.
I buy a lot of toys at a lot of different places because you gotta find those deals. And I didn't even mention. I go to a lot of toy shows too, like a lot. Like I probably go 10 a year. Maybe more. I got one coming this Sunday, and it's just sometimes I don't get anything, but sometimes you find an amazing deal and you never know. But it's also part of the fun. I just like to go look.
Yeah,
I love toys, so I just want to see what people have.
I had no idea there was a toy show on Sunday.
Let me see your toys. I know that face you gave was.
I'll give you details. Again, it's not going to help these people, so I'll take it off the air.
I mean, that's true.
Anyway, come to our local toy show and find things on sale.
Yeah,
it's simple.
So we can't.
You can just come to my basement. I should have like a for sale corner.
You may never leave.
Yeah, he'll take your money and then he'll lock you in the little dungeon room.
I don't want people here. Like after the fact,
what is it? Sandworm?
What
is it, sandworm? What's the thing
like
that
in
swallowed...
Beetlejuice?
No, the thing that swallowed Boba Fett and it didn't swallow.
The Sarlacc.
Yes, sandworm. I mean, it was in the sand.
It was a sandworm, but you say it with so much confidence, like that was the actual name.
I was like sandworm.
You were just like, yeah, it's called the sandworm, right?
It's a worm in the sand.
If we were playing the He-Man name game, I probably would have given it to him.
Yeah, there we go. I'll take it. And it started with an S. So.
Yeah.
And it was a worm.
Yeah. It's just underground.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I didn't even think about like toy shows and stuff. That's actually a good. Well, I don't know, because the last toy show I went to, everything was overpriced. Unless you're in the retro.
Well, that's
stuff.
just the thing. You gotta look hard, because I mean, I have seen some amazing deals where people are selling stuff for less than retail. I don't know if they got a whole bunch somewhere and took a bath on it, and they're just like, I got to get out. But I have gotten some, I mean, just ridiculous deals. And yes, I've been to other shows where it's ridiculously overpriced. But
so again,
that's part of
repetition.
It too.
Repetition.
Yep. All right, makes sense.
We solved another case.
We solved it.
Is this one going to be called? Did Hasbro make us rebudget our toys?
No, but the thumbnail is going to be a picture of you with some money signs and Hasbro logo, and it's going to say how to budget. So it may not be titled Hasbro, but they'll still be there. It's okay. Right. We'll still ride that wave.
Oh, is those bags of money?
Bags of money. Yeah.
I thought it was showing like what you do to get the extra money.
Oh yeah.
In the park. Remember, that was the key term he said earlier. Yeah. Oh God, I want to segue from that.
This is why it's good that we don't run ads, because there'd be no breaks. Like, how do you?
There's at least a 30-second period at some point where like we haven't said something inappropriate that I think we can get away with it. I was like cut right in the middle of like one of Nate's like explanations of something, and that will be when the ad break is. That way, there's at least the 30 seconds on each side. Any other things that you guys can think of? Because I mean, especially with Hasbro, we just brought them up. They're so expensive now.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I know. He's gonna say
discount stores. So if you've got them local, like Ollie's, Mark's, Ross. I don't know how far. City Trends, I think, is one of them, but that I haven't really found good deals there. But some people have.
I found some stuff at Ross before.
Yeah, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, places like that. So, overstock stores that you never know what they're going to have.
Yeah. Keep in mind, the stuff they'll have is usually going to be 6 months to 3 years old.
Oh,
or longer.
Sure.
But it's still like an opportunity to go get stuff for dirt cheap, because I found some of the old, I didn't buy them, but the gray carded Marvel Legends that they did with like Captain America, the brown suit Wolverine, Punisher, and stuff like that. They were all like $10.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and some of those stores were getting the wave too, which those ones are all like $100 figures now. Like, they're crazy expensive. And yeah, they were showing up at discount stores for $10.
Yeah.
So what you do with those to make a little extra, that's on you.
Hey, I feel like that's fair game.
That is fair game.
That's like 4 years
Yeah,
old.
at that point, you're not buying something with the intent of selling it day one. You're buying something that nobody wanted for 3 years.
Or just sat in a warehouse for 3 years, because, who knows?
Those
seem to not really be around.
I feel like a lot of that stuff was stuff that like didn't sell well, which is why.
Depending on the stores. But they're like, hey, there's some freight here. Sell it.
Yeah. All right, so there we have it. We've solved your problem.
Lots of ways.
Yeah.
Now you won't be poor and collecting. You will be well budgeted.
Or the other.
Poor and collecting more.
Yes. That's the difference.
Also, never open up your bank account app. That's an easy way to.
You just don't know how much you spend.
Schrodinger's
I feel
account
like
balance.
Between like phone calls and the mail, like you can't
Paperless billing.
get away.
Paperless billing.
Yeah.
All right.
And you turn your phone on silence. Solved everything.
Exactly. Well, you don't have to worry about having a phone if you can't afford your phone bill.
Be shut off.
They can't call you, so just keep buying the things that you want.
Yes.
Well, if you have no phone, then you can't watch the show. So make sure you pay your phone bill,
or at least pay your internet, because then you can use Wi-Fi.
That is true. Don't need a cell phone.
Yep.
Or you can just go to the coffee shop.
Yeah, you can watch us at McDonald's. I'm cool with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have at it.
Yeah, man. Have a McDouble. Doesn't that sound
Whoa.
good right now?
Assuming
McDouble.
you have
Those
to
are
buy
like
small
$4 now.
Yeah, those are
They
cheap.
are. They used to be like $1.
Yeah,
They're
now
a
they're
dollar.
Anymore.
Now we're getting into
Yeah.
grandpa stories now.
Oh man, back in my day, I could eat Taco Bell and for like $5 and a bag of change.
Yep. You could get a value meal for like $5. $5 was like the average.
Yeah.
$5-6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now it's like 13, and it makes me sad every
Like
time.
this is not a restaurant. I mean, it is, but you know what I mean. But yeah.
It's not a restaurant. It's not a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah.
Which those are expensive now too. Anyway, before we close out the show, I would like to announce that as of the time of airing of this episode, so February the 10th, we will officially have our Patreon set up. It will be patreon.com/Modern Toy Fair. I will have the link in the description below. There are going to be 5 tiers that will allow you to do anything from just, being able to see the community feed with just basic posts we have, seeing behind the scenes stuff. We've got episodes going up early of all the shows. We've got physical prints of the photos I take from the action figure photography at the end of the reviews. And then we even have a tier where one person a month can come and join us live on Wednesday Night OnlyFigs as well. So if you have the extra cash because you budgeted so well after this video and you'd like to help us out, please head over there. We appreciate it. If you can't, we appreciate you still. Just watch the episode on repeat to help us out that way.
I appreciate it.
But yes, we're very excited. This is something we've been talking about kind of on and off for a while, and we kind of finally worked out how we wanted to do it and what tiers to do. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, you've probably seen the polls I've put out, asking people like what kind of things they'd be excited for. And it's finally here. So February the 10th, today, the day that this goes up, it will officially be live. So check that out. And hopefully this goes not terribly.
Can't promise anything.
Yeah, no promises.
I mean, if nothing else, it's going to be great when my mom comes on to OnlyFigs. But she probably won't be on until September because she probably won't come on until my birthday. That'll be like my birthday present that year.
That will be
for
incredible.
this year.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
yeah.
She's just sitting
I'll
there
have my mom.
holding her iPhone up, propped up on a TV tray,
Oh yeah. Oh,
yelling.
for sure. No, my dad.
Nathaniel, what did you buy this week?
No, my mom's not like that, but my dad will be yelling in the background. What?
He'll be like, "Who are you talking to?"
Yep. So
That sounds great.
Oh man. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps us out here on the channel, and of course, it gets you more toy-related videos in your feed. We've got sorry, it's been a long day. I'm tired. We've got the reviews on Mondays, Let's Poses on Tuesdays, live stream usually on Wednesdays, and the podcast on Fridays. If you would like to keep an eye out for updates on our social media or just see the photos I take of all the figures I buy, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Modern Toy Fair. You can check Jarmar out over on metal.tv/Jarmar Games. Nate, what do you got for us this week?
I had all kinds of stuff all lined up, and I totally forgot it. So,
well, you know what? If someone goes and joins our Patreon, they actually have the opportunity to suggest ideas for you each week. So that's another thing that they could unlock.
It's almost like we planned that.
Right?
Yeah,
it
we
feels
didn't.
like it, but we didn't.
We didn't.
But that's going to be it for this week's video. Hopefully see you next week. Same toy time, same Toy Fair channel. Thank you for watching.